Good morning, guys. Dan here, just chilling out at the beach, but I'm going to give you an update on crypto and stocks and real estate. So you're going to like this. It's been probably about a couple weeks before I've given you guys some updates on the market and some cool stuff's happening that's going to make a huge difference in the way that the market works. So I'm going to give you what's going on. There's a lot of good changes that could be happening as well, and it's going to really affect things a lot. So I appreciate you guys. I've been taking a little vacation here in Northern California and also into Oregon and hiking around the wilderness. Okay, so you guys ready? Here's what's going on. First, we're going into midterm elections right now, and midterm elections are going to massively change the landscape. Right now, our government has been very dominated in one political arena. So you've seen a lot of crazy laws and executive orders and things like that go through, which has affected the economy in a, not too great of a way. A lot of you guys are really feeling it right now. But they say there's going to be a red wave. Now, this is midterm elections coming up, so obviously the president isn't going to be changed out right now, but for the Senate and the House and things like that, I'm avoiding getting flooded by the water. You could see some definite changes there, and that causes gridlock. Gridlock means that laws don't get passed because there's a lot of blue, there's a lot of red, everything's just kind of locked up, right? That means for corporations, big corporations, they're not going to screw with the taxes. That also means, though, for a lot of people that are small business owners and you guys and girls are really nervous that they're going to screw with our taxes. Stuff's going to get gridlocked up. This also applies to all kinds of laws pertaining to almost every subject you can imagine. It's going to happen. Things are going to get locked up, right? Now, since 1950, post-midterm elections, the stock market has rallied. I think an average of Oxford said like 15%. Some sources say 20%. Some say 25%. This is highly amplified in cryptocurrency, and people tend to kind of price this stuff in a little bit early. So if you look at crypto right now, it's taking kind of a little bit of a bounce, actually a significant bounce. But that's because people are already psychologically pricing in this gridlock, because crypto is much more amplified than the stock market. So when the stocks go up 15%, you can anticipate crypto going up significantly higher, okay? Now let's go into the last subject here of real estate. A lot of real estate right now is still, I believe, overpriced in a lot of markets. I think we've got about 15-20% to go in certain markets. Some markets a lot higher. Again, if there's U-Haul trucks moving to the area, like Utah and some of these places, and Florida and things like that, you may not see as much correction. But interest rates will continue to rise, okay? Interest rates will continue to rise. And they're going to do that, obviously, until they see inflation go down to where they want it to be. Now, I was predicting in a previous video a pivot, right? We didn't see that pivot. My crystal ball is broken. I always use that disclaimer. And so they still raise 0.75 basis points. But you will see here in the next little bit eventually, I believe, some easing down to like 0.5, a little easing down to 0.25, and then maybe even a larger pivot from that. One thing too, the dollar, right? You saw the dollar's valuation drop significantly compared to its highs for a little bit there, and then you saw a market spike. When the dollar drops, the stock market and crypto and all that stuff goes up when the value of the dollar drops. So that's something the government can actually affect. If they want to really goose the market, they can just print more money, right? And however, they have different ways they can do that. But the more that they print, whoa, okay, check it out. My feet are underwater. High tide. So the more dollars that they print, the more that stock market will probably rally and crypto will rally. So what can you do? Let me just give you some tangible stuff. I'm going to step forward here so I don't get underwater here. What's some stuff that you can tangibly do? Okay. One, if you work somewhere, companies are going to be laying off people like crazy. And right now I know unemployment's low, but it's going to be high. I think unemployment's going to skyrocket. The reason is these companies right now are trimming their operating costs to keep profit high. As you know, I'm on the board of a lot of different tech companies and stuff, and budget awareness is there, and cost cutting is starting to happen all across the tech sector. It's going to trickle into all different sectors. Some of my friends own mortgage companies and real estate companies and that, and they're trimming staffing like crazy. Administrative staffing, customer service staffing, all this is, so you're going to see unemployment rate going high. So the worst thing you can do is be a low producer and ask for some huge raise right now, because then you will be on the list to be cut by most of these companies. If you work somewhere, increase your productivity, do more, talk to your boss and your boss's boss and ask, what are you working on? How can I help? Listen to their stresses, be an open ear, and know that you're part of the solution. So if you work somewhere, that's one thing that you can do. Now, if you're an entrepreneur, I know a lot of you guys are feeling some revenue fluctuations. I've definitely felt that. I own a lot of companies, but in some of the companies there, while there's uncertainty, you can feel some fluctuations. I had a flashback to 2008 and also the dot-com bubble in the early 2000s, and this is exactly the same thing. And the big thing is this. If you own a business, look at your operating costs, okay? Now, I wouldn't cut your advertising to zero or anything stupid like that, and I wouldn't completely just like back off. But the most important thing you do is keep your head in the game. You can look at your profit and loss statement and your balance sheet back in 2019, okay? Your profit and loss statement, if you guys don't know what that is, if you're own a business, you should know what that is in your balance sheet. That just shows all your revenue through history coming in, and you should have it tracked month by month, and we'll go all the way back for years and years and years. But you can track what also your operational costs are. What did it cost to operate your business? So what are you spending on marketing? What are you spending on payroll? What are you spending on insurance? What are you spending on company lunches and entertaining clients and all those things? You may have to adjust back to 2019's operating cost to make sure you're staying profitable. Now, what a lot of people do during these times of turmoil is they simply just give up and they don't even try, and they just close their business. Now, there are going to be a lot of businesses that don't make it, okay? That does happen, especially ones that opened in 2020, 2021 that had all this free business coming from all the money that the government printed, okay? But if you do have a business that started in 2019 and earlier, pre-stimulus stuff, and you operate in a normal, semi-normal environment, then you just bring your operating costs back to where they were, push a little reset, okay? This is important to do that. Now, there's a thing called responsive and not being reactive. I wouldn't be so reactive and just like cut everybody, Again, make sure that you're doing the math. Look at some historical graphing. And the farther back you can go, I look back, actually crazy as this, I look back to 2001, because I look at those cycles and what we did and learned back in 2001, 2008, and 9 during those previous economic cycles. What do we do to pivot and stay profitable? What do we do to preserve jobs? What do we do to take care of our customers? Now, one last thing. If you run a business, make sure that you're taking extra good care of your customers, okay? And if you're a leader, try not to be grouchy. Be optimistic and paint light at the end of the tunnel for all your employees, and let your customers just know how much you care about them. Because those customers are going to be gravitated towards companies that really take care of them, really know they care, is hypercritical. Also, I said one last thing, but there is one last thing. Investing. I would recommend that you think about dollar cost averaging into your favorite good quality stock positions. And guys, don't message me on what stocks to buy. I can't give stock recommendations because I run a hedge fund called the Ugly Unicorn Crypto Hedge Fund. So I don't give any sort of recommendations on crypto and stocks like that. But what you can look at is the companies that are making money, have a functional utility, have a great team, and have a great roadmap, okay? That is stuff that, is not too hard to research. We do all have Google, and I know, we're always telling you Google it and stuff like that, though, but I don't mind being your Google a little bit right here in this video. Okay, and then finally, the thing to wrap it up. I've been walking an hour a day and lifting weights every day because, it has been stressful. I have 5 companies, and it's been very stressful to be able to balance all those things. Just think how Elon Musk feels right now. He just made a $40 billion plus acquisition during a bear market and a recession, right? Like crazy, right? But guess what? People who take drastic action during tough times, though, become like the legends you hear of, right? I remember coming out of .com bubble with PCLaptops.com, and people were like, man, you did amazing. Oh my gosh. I remember coming out of 2008 and 9 and then starting Zydex, our gaming company. They're like, you're starting this up like during these crazy times, and stuff like that. Oh, it's so much uncertainty and stuff like that. I had that super easy backup company. As well, we have our real estate holdings company. All these things were all started during like the craziest, scariest times. And the reason is it's like hunting on a field, or fishing in an ocean, and there's no other fishermen. Like right now, there's no fishermen. This beach is completely empty. I'm gonna give you this idea. I got this private beach, man. Check it out. There's no humans on this beach. And I'm the only human for miles around on this beach. So if I was the only dude that was fishing right now, that's great. During good times, during really good times, everyone's fishing. So if this beach was the market, it would be packed. Everybody would have their pole in the water, but there is literally nobody for look, there's nobody around. There's not even a boat in the water, man. It's crazy. Okay, so strange metaphor. Anyway, I'm gonna go back to vacation. I'm gonna go walk the pugs. I'm gonna go try to find some clam chowder or something like that. But I love you guys. I thought I'd check in during my vacation. If you do have any questions, you can comment below, even on the replay. But one thing you can do for me, I don't charge you guys to do this. I don't sell you a mastermind. I don't do any of those things. I do my podcast for free. We got some cool new ones coming up. But all I ask you to do is share this video so we can help more people, because a lot of people are going to get hurt. They're going to get slaughtered if they're not educated on how to navigate this. 2008 and 9, slaughter. .com bubble in the early 2000s, slaughter. Let's not let that happen to our friends, family, loved ones, employees, all those things. Share this video. All right, I love you guys. I will try to make more videos with the pugs in the mountains. Love you.